So welcome everyone. Welcome back to the session on projection of solids. So today we'll be solving one problem on projection of solids, in that related to a circular cone. So you know how does a cone looks like. So it will be having a circular base and it will be surrounded by n number of generators which will be connected to our common point apex. So how a cone will be formed? It is formed by the solids of revolution. So a triangular surface, if it is revolved around 360 degree, then it results in the formation of an circular cone. So similar to that of other pyramids, a circular cone will be also having an apex, right, and circular surface. So the axis height in case of circular cone will be similar to that of pyramids. So where the measurement of the length from the apex to that of the bottom center will be the axis height for the given circular cone. So today we'll just solve a problem on circular cone. So the question here is, it is a right circular cone of 40 mm base diameter, means the base circle is made by the diameter of 40 mm and 60 mm long is the axis length. So the axis height is 60 mm long from the apex to that of the bottom of the center. And how it is resting? It is resting on one of its point on HP in the base circle. So you know that the base circle could be divided into either 8 parts or 12 parts. So it is resting on one of its point on HP. So if you locate one of the point on HP, so you will locate that point towards your right. So that after locating that point, you will just rotate the circle as our top view, which will provide the true shape of the circular cone. So as per the question, it is resting on one of its point on the circle of the base. So how you keep the position of the cone? So the circular cone will be placed in such a way. So this is our vertical plane and this is our horizontal plane. So you will rest the given circular cone in such a way that it is resting on any one point on the circumference of the base circle. So once this is fixed, you will view from the top. So when you view from the top, what will be our top view? It will be just a circular surface which will provide the true shape of the given circular cone. So circle will be the top view in case of circular cone when it is resting on one of its point on the circumference of the base circle. And similarly, when you view from the front, you will just take the projection of the end generator here and here, right? And it will be just like a triangle. So when you view from here, the cone will just look like a triangle. So a triangular surface will be our front view and a circular surface will be our top view. So this will be the first position when the given circular cone is resting on one of its point on HP. So first you see what is the diameter of the circle. It is 40 mm. So you will just identify a center. Okay, name that as O and take the radius. If the diameter is 40, the radius will be 20 mm. So take 20 mm radius and just generate a circle. Okay, so I will just draw a circle. Okay, so just draw a circle and divide this into 8 equal parts. So just join a horizontal line, that will be the diameter. So any line you draw within the circle will be the diameter passing through the center. And again from here I will draw. Right? So I have divided the circle into 8 equal parts. So this is our center O. Right? And then you will name this accordingly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. So this is the top view of the circular cone. So when you view from the top center O will be visible and O1 will be hidden. So what you will do, so you will write O outside the bracket and O1 within the bracket. So now we have completed the true shape of the top view of the given circular cone. So next, in order to trace out the front view, we have to take the projections above. So kindly take the projection from each point. So I am taking the projection from E. D and F will be along the same line. C and G will be along the same line. B and H will be along the same line. And take the projection of A above. And I told you the front view will look like an triangular surface. So first we will figure out the axis height. So axis height is 60 mm. So now please take the projection of the center line. So here the center line and the generator is coming along the same line. So please extend this. This is the center line. Center line is overlapped with one of the generator passing through the circumference of the circle. So we won't show a center line pattern over here. So after you draw the center line in a common way in the visible form, so then you have to see what is the axis height. Axis height is 60 mm. So keep one end of the compass here. First measure 60 mm using the compass and scale and come back over here. Measure exactly 60 mm and you cut an arc. So this will be our O1. So once you get the apex, so we will now join the apex to each and every projection of the generators which are there on the circumference of the circle of the top view. So please connect the apex to each and every point. After you connect, please show the axis height as 60 mm. So then the observer views from here. So when the observer views from here, A will be visible, so we will write it as A dash. B and H will be visible, so you will write when the observer views from here, B and H will be along the same line. B will be visible but H won't be visible. So you will write B dash outside the bracket and H dash within the bracket. And again when the observer views from here, C and G will be along the same line. C will be visible and G won't be visible. So you will write C dash outside the bracket and G dash within the bracket. And again when the observer views from here, D and F will be along the same line. D will be visible and F won't be visible. So what you do is, you will write D dash and F dash within the bracket. Similarly, when the observer views from here, E will be visible, so you will write it as E dash. Apart from that, we have the center O1. So when you view from here, O1 will not be visible. So you will write O1 dash within the bracket. So this completes the first stage, front view and the top view. So top view provides the true shape of the base of the circular cone. So once this is done, so now we have to see what is the inclination given with respect to HP and VP. So it is told that the point on which it was resting on HP, it's resting on HP on one of its point of the base circle, such that its axis makes 45-degree inclination with HP and 40-degree with VP. So it is purely a problem on axis inclination. Since it is directly inclined to VP, we need to determine the apparent angle in the third stage. So let us cover the second stage first. So in the second stage, it is told axis is inclined to 45-degree to HP. So leave some space and just take axis line for 45-degree inclination. So please show the axis line pattern over here. After that, so now you should now identify from the center to this corner what is the distance is. Please measure this distance using the compass. Just move on this 45-degree line until and unless it touches our XY plane. So where it touches, you just cut an arc and identify that reference point also. So from that reference point, just draw a line. So this base will be exactly perpendicular to our axis line. So once you have constructed half the part of the base, you just extend it on the other side also. Okay. So after that, now we have to identify each and every points which is there on the baseline. So center we have got already. So you now identify from this corner to D dash what is the distance. Just cut an arc. And again from A dash to B dash what is the distance you measure. Okay, before that this we have got. So from center to B dash what is the distance you measure, and you just cut an arc. And then again from B dash to A dash what is the distance you measure, and you cut an arc. So you got all the namings. And after that you measure the true length of the axis, which is 60 mm. Using the compass, keep the same distance here and cut an arc. So where it meets will be our O dash. So once you get the O dash, you will join each and every point marked on the baseline to our apex without fail. Don't forget to join any one of the lines. After that, please give the same naming as we had done in the first stage. So this is our A dash. So this is B dash in the bracket H dash. So this was our C dash in the bracket G dash, and this is our O1 dash. And similarly this is D dash and F dash, and this is our E dash. So this is how the front view of the second stage looks like. So after this we need to trace out the top view when the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degrees. So for that what we do is, you will take the projection from each and every point. From A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, and also from O dash. After that we need to take the extension from the top view also, from each and every point. So you took the projection from G dash, projection from H and F, projection from A and E, projection from B and D, projection from C. Okay. So after drawing the projection lines, you kindly erase the extra lines. After erasing the extra lines, you start reading the locus. So locus of A is meeting A dash at this point. So this is our A. And locus of E is meeting E dash at this point. So this is our E. Locus of B is meeting B dash at this point. So this is our B. Locus of D is meeting D dash at this point. So this is our D. Locus of C is meeting C dash at this point. This is our C. And locus of H is meeting H dash at this point. So this is our H. Locus of F is meeting F dash at this point. So this is our F. Locus of G is meeting G dash at this point. So this is our G. After that, the center of the base is O1. Locus of O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point. So this is our O1. And locus of O is meeting O dash at this point. So this is our O dash. Right. So in the first case, we assume that axis is vertical. And next, the axis was inclined to some angle. At that case, the corner of the base surface will be on XY line. But still the outer boundary of the cone will be visible. And hence first we will join the outer boundary of the cone. So the circular base is an circular, the base is a circular one. So we have to join it freehand. But in the second stage of the top view, just looks like an ellipse. But still try to join using freehand with a smooth curve. Join A to B, B to C, A to H, H to G, right? And the outer boundary we are joining. So from G to O dash, and from C to O dash. So this is the outer boundary of the cone. And after this you should see which are the hidden lines. Now you can see that one of the corner of the base of the circular cone is lying on XY line. That shows that the projection coming through that corner will be hidden. So E dash, so this is the projection of point E. So any projection coming through point E will be dotted. So here we have the projection coming through E to D. So this part will be dotted. Similarly, we have the projection coming through E to F. So even this will be dotted. Similarly, any extension of the projection line of hidden will be hidden only always. So D to C also will be hidden and G to F also will be hidden. Right? And apart from that, we have the axis line which is passing through O1 to O dash. Right? So this is passing through inside the surface. So you can just show the axis line pattern that is overlapped with one of the longer edge. So you can just show the axis line pattern, but that will be overlapped with E to O continuous visible line. So you can just join it. Okay, only inside you can show the axis pattern. So this is how it looks like in the second stage. So this is our second stage front view and the top view. So after that, what is the inclination with respect to VP is given. Here the axis is directly inclined to VP. At what angle? At 40 degree. So what we do is we will take either 40 degree to VP this way or 40 degree to VP in this way. So please take 40 degree line and then show the VP inclination as 40. So before shifting, just fix the reference point O. So leave some space and then make a reference point O. So after you measure the reference point O, since the axis is directly inclined to VP, first we need to take the true length of the axis. So what is the true length of the axis? It is 60 mm. So measure from O dash to O1 dash, it is exactly 60 mm. Measure the same 60 mm on this 45 degree line and just cut an arc on this 45 degree line. So where it meets will be our O1. So from there you just draw the locus. So after you draw the locus, come back to the second stage and measure the apparent length of the axis. So the apparent length of the axis is from O1 to O. So this distance will be comparatively lesser than that of our true length. So this is the apparent length. So you will measure the apparent length of the axis using the compass. Come back here, from the fixed point O, you just cut an arc where it meets. Okay. So this will be our new O1 and this is the fixed O. So this is the true length and this is the apparent length. Once you get the apparent length, you will extend this apparent length to our xy plane. So this will be nothing but our beta. So once you measure beta, please write a box and show what is the value of beta you are getting. So once that is done, we need to reconstruct our circular cone. Right, so we have just the axis right now. So we have to reconstruct the remaining part. So if you just extend it little bit backside, we will get the point A. So you just extend the axis, apparent length of the axis, little backside, and you measure from O1 to A what is the distance. Come back here and just cut an arc. So you get the point A. Similarly, from O1 to E, measure what is the distance. Come here and just cut an arc on the axis. So it is point E. So now we got A and E. So other points G, H, F, B, D, C to be determined. But we can see that H and B is coming along the same line. So you identify the position through which H and B is located. So you identify this midpoint. From A to this midpoint, what is the distance? Come back over here and just make a reference point. Okay, so from that reference point, you just draw a perpendicular line. So after drawing perpendicular line, you measure from the midpoint to H what is the distance is. So measure exactly and cut an arc. And similarly from midpoint to B what is the distance you measure and you just cut an arc. So now you got the two corners H and B. Similarly we need to get G and C now. Okay, so you name this as H and this as B. And then through the origin we will get the other two points on the circumference of the base circle. So that is G and C. So extend the line through the origin O1. Draw a perpendicular line first. Please use scale and draw perpendicular line properly. After drawing, you measure from O1 to G what is the distances. Come back over here and just cut an arc. And similarly from O1 to C what is the distance. Come back over here and you just cut an arc. So you got G and C. So name this as G and name this as C. So after that we need to identify two more points on the circumference of the circle. So that is lying at some distance from the point E. So identify the distance from E to this midpoint, how much it is. Come back over here and just make a reference point. So from that reference point you just drop an perpendicular line. So after you drop the perpendicular line, you measure from the midpoint to F what is the distance is. Come back over here and just cut an arc. And similarly from the midpoint to D what is the distance, measure and cut an arc. So you got the other 2 points. One is F, another one is D. So you have got the base circle, right? So in that half portion is visible and half portion is hidden. So trace out accordingly. A to B is visible, B to C is visible, H to A is visible, G to H is visible. The other part is hidden. So just show the hidden line from G to F, F to E, E to D, G to C. So we have just shifted our base circle to our beta angle. So once this is done, so what we'll do is we need to join the generators at the end of the circumference of the circle to our apex. So the G is one of the generators. So kindly join, and from C also. Right? So we now shifted our top view of the second stage to the beta angle. So once the third stage top view is done, so now it's our duty to take the projections above. Right? So please take the projection from G, H, A, don't miss any points, F, E, D, C, let it be drawn parallelly. Then what is left out? B is left out. B, O1 and also O. So please take the projection line parallelly. I am just showing you roughly. Okay. So after that, kindly extend the projection from our front view also. O dash, from A dash, from B dash and H dash, from C dash and G dash, from D dash and F dash. E dash is along the XY line already. So after this, you kindly erase the extra projection line so that it will not be giving any confusion stage for you all. So after that, start reading the locus. So the locus of G, is meeting G. The locus of G is meeting G dash at this point. So this is our G dash. The locus of H is meeting H dash at this point. So this is our H dash. The locus of A, this is the locus of A, and it is meeting A dash at this point. So this is our A dash. And the locus of B is meeting Yeah, the locus of B, this is B, the locus of B is meeting B dash at this point, so this is our B dash. And the locus of C, the locus, so this is the locus of C, which is C. So yeah, the locus of C is meeting C dash at this point, so this is our C dash. And the locus of D here, the locus of D is meeting D dash at this point, so this is our D dash. Okay, and then the locus of E is meeting E dash on XY line, so this is our E dash. And locus of F is meeting F dash at this point, so this is our F dash. Right? So we now got all the projections of the base circle. Then you take the projection of the center. The locus of O1 is meeting, this is the locus of O1, it is meeting O1 dash at this point, so this is our O1 dash. And similarly the locus of O is meeting O dash at this point, so this is our O dash. So after this, now what we do is we need to take the outer boundary as visible. So this is a base circle. So from F dash, you will join from F dash to E dash, F dash to G dash, G dash to H dash, H dash to A dash, E dash to D dash, D dash to C dash, right? And A dash to O dash and O dash to C dash. So this is the outer boundary, but when the observer views from here, the entire base circle will be visible. So you will join the base circle. So this will be the final view. So you have to draw in such a way that you will draw it as a smooth curve. Okay. So from the center O1 dash to O, you will show the axis line. It is passing through inside the surface, so this much you can show as an axis line which is passing through inside the surface. Okay, so this will be the final stage of the front view and the top view of a circular cone when it is resting on one of its point on HP. And the axis inclined to 45 degree and to VP at 40 degree. So when there is an axis inclination, when it is directly inclined to VP, we should determine the beta angle and then reconstruct the second stage top view to the third stage. So this is how the problem will be on a circular cone when it is resting on one of its point on HP. Okay, thank you.